work on happy today. I did forget to do my announcement this morning. It wasn't just Barbara. The new Science of Mind magazines are in. Gary Zukoff is on the color, and this is what I promised you guys. The LGBTQ and the Science of Mind in the rainbow colors. Isn't that cool? If you don't know who Gary Zukoff is, an amazing teacher. And his article is about creating authentic power. Don't miss that one. All right, did the advertising. All right. So, golly. I want to acknowledge Barbara. She already acknowledged herself, but I still want to do this for an amazing conversation last week. Yeah. Is opening this up on this idea of living debt-free and not finding fault in debt, but finding that there are things beyond that, even stretching ourselves. This idea of paying off our mortgage is such an extraordinary thing. So many of us fell into that trap of wanting to fix something, and there's nothing to fix. There's only to be aware and reveal the truth of who we are and live from that place. So it was an amazing start for us last week, and I'm sure that we'll continue that. And really, what I have chosen to share with you this morning really comes from that same notion, that idea of what do we have to clean up? What do we have to work on? What do we have to get clear about in the midst of this process, or any process that you want to do in your life? How many of you have everything you've ever wanted and desired in your entire life already present and actively visible in your life right now? Okay, got a couple. 2 or 3 freaks in the room. I don't have everything that I desire. I want more. So my work has to be to figure out how to do that. And I have some thoughts for you today. This idea of dynamic flow. Being in that dynamic flow does not just come on its own. We are not imposed with good in our lives. It's all around us. It is all around us. But it is not always accessible to us based on our consciousness. So we have to be aware of how we're being so that we can take the next step to whatever is next for us in our lives. We are an affirming community. We work toward what we want, but occasionally it's not bad to look at what we don't want, or how we can have more of what we want, how we can be in that dynamic flow of spirit, how we can do that in our lives. So I thought I'd begin this conversation this morning by looking at how we often unconsciously block that good that we claim we want. We say we want it, but then we do things that kind of get in our way. And many of us don't see the connection. We go, there's something that I really desire in my life. There's something that if I just had it, I'd feel so much better about myself. And I have no idea. I hate it when they do that. You know? When I've got these problems, you know? We focus on things that take away from us actually being in that flow. So I thought I'd give you, but just a quick 15 ideas. So, yes, this could be a 3-hour conversation easily. So all I'm going to do is read them, and here's the deal. If it's something about it doesn't make sense to you, you can ask me when we're done here today. If something you are defiantly thinking is not true on this list, that's the one you got to work on. Okay? So let's go through them quickly. Focusing on wanting something. There's nothing wrong with wanting. It's just that that's your general focus. You're going to stay in the wanting and not get to the having. Number 2, being overly involved in someone else's life. That is so self-evident. 3, keeping track of those who displease you. If you are focused on someone that pushes your buttons, guess what's going to happen? Your buttons are going to get pushed and you won't have any energy to be in the flow. Number 4, sitting in judgment of anyone for any reason. Boy, that'll get in your way. It won't bother the person you're judging at all. But it's going to drive crazy and keep you totally focused away from what you want. Asking why. Why did this happen to me? Why do I always blah, blah, blah? There's your blah blah. Why never gets a straight answer, so don't even think about the why. Be in the idea of what it is you want to know, what you want to create. Having sympathy for others. Now, most of us think that sympathy is a very kind thing, but what it does is it actually, in a psychic way, makes you see someone as less than you. And that is a lie. Being concerned with how people see us. Yet we do. All the time. I had a teacher, a speaker at an INTA event in Phoenix a couple of years ago say a beautiful thing that every minister in the room got. In the line as you're leaving, everyone tells you how great your talk was, how it touched their hearts, how you were just talking directly to them, and one person says, you know, I just didn't buy that at all. And who does the minister take home to bed with him? Defending ourselves. As though that makes a bit of difference. If we have to defend ourselves, then we're not clear about who we are. Rushing through anything or being in a hurry. God, I got that from native people. They don't understand that thing being in a hurry. What is being in a hurry? They don't get it. And I think they're right. Expressing frustration, impatience, anger, or resentment. Feel all those energies are very similar? They will block your flow. Being afraid of anything. Absolutely. Because what you're afraid of, you're focusing on, and you're going to get the thing you're afraid of. Being afraid is like having a neon sign above your head that says, do it to me. Yeah, absolutely. Leaving things half done. That's just clutter in our minds. Because, I really got to do that. I really got to do that. It just slows us all down. Seeking vengeance or retribution.
Telling little lies.
Ah, yes, telling little lies. Maybe that's the one I got to work on. And most of the little lies we're just telling to ourselves. It isn't about lying to other people. It's just that we try to trick ourselves into thinking something's not so. Seeking vengeance and retribution and wrestling with anxious feelings. These are the things that will slow us down. So you got, at least to me, these are my perceptions. I'm sure there's many others, but these are the ones that come to mind for me. And I thought I'd share those with you, but we're not going to stay there. We're going to continue on this wonderful idea of dynamic flow. And to do that, we're not baking a quiche today. But we are doing a demonstration, so. Woohoo! Yeah.
You're so easily intimidated.
Being in the dynamic flow of spirit. For those of you that require props, today's your big day. Let me explain. What I'm going to demonstrate is how being in the dynamic flow of spirit and how to begin or initiate or instigate that flow in your life is sort of like the principle of siphoning. The principle of siphoning works in an interesting way. It actually is that place where through a closed system, water will flow uphill. Something that isn't natural in the environment. But it will flow uphill if you give if the right elements are there. So, let me tell you what we got here. We've got all the good of spirit, the infinite flow of the divine, right here. That's what this container represents. And of course, it's not infinite. It has a finite amount of fluid here, but it represents the infinite flow of spirit. This is the good in your life, or my life. Now, all of us have certain levels of good in our lives, you know. Some people have less than that. Some people have more than that. But all of us have some level of thinking that I have wonderful things in my life. Most of us have some space, though, there for growth or expansion, right? So what you got here is space for growth and expansion. So using the principle of siphoning in the same way that you use the principle of dynamic flow, you got to get the good of spirit, which is always present, into your life so you can see it and touch it and experience it fully, right? That's the plan. So we used siphoning. Drop it all the way down and then breathe normally. No, okay. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we put one end of this tube, whoops, it'll go. There we go, right there. And we suck. That's how you've seen this done. Mostly when people are dealing with gasoline, which is not a very safe thing to do. But this that I'm about to do represents us treating for more good in our lives. Just wanting and claiming more good in our lives, right? So we try to draw more good into our life. Sometimes it's not so easy. Nope. Okay, try some more. Come on. I deserve more good in my life. Don't distract me. I'm getting more good in my life. A little bit. Come on, give me some good in my... Something's not working here. No coaching. There's another way to create a siphon. You aware of that? How do you do that? You take what you already got and you share it. And then what happens? I got a little bit. I think we got to do some more. There it is. Woohoo! Oh, put one in here. The rehearsal went much better. Come on, baby. We're going to try this one more time because I know it works. It's funny, the first time I did this, it worked so easy.
Back in the pole.
Back in the hole, back in the hole. You guys are such good help. Fourth time must be the charm. So many coaches, I love you guys. Nope. I swear to God, the first time I did this, it worked so good. We're going to do some editing on this one. I'm actually having fun here. I haven't broken anything yet, so that's a good sign. You get the point. So let me explain, James. This is what's happening. This is the good of spirit. This is the good in our lives. We want to manifest it so that we can see it's already there. It's always been there, right? What we want to do is we want to create it in our lives. Now, we can do the sucking process and try to draw it in by just claiming it, and that's not an unnatural way to do it, but you get more. You get more when you give more. You get more when you put more into the system that's going to give you more. And that's where this thing goes. That's where this thing takes us, is that if we are generous in our lives, life will reflect that into us, coming back to us. It's a natural law. It works in this thing called siphoning. I can't help this. It works in siphoning, and it works in every other element of our lives. That's just fun. Okay, so the point of this is that when we are generous, we get more in life. How are you being generous in your life? How are you flowing out? Because by flowing out, you're priming the system. There is no pump. There's just the ability. Now, as again, we can treat and know that all this wonderful stuff is coming into our lives, and stuff will come into our lives. But if we are demonstrating by flowing out of our lives in a joyous way, every time we pay a bill, every time we do a kind deed, every time we say thank you, every time we support life by showing life who we are, we get more back. It works constantly and consistently, without exception. This is how it works. And I have learned this lesson. So my task in life is to be as open and generous as I know how to be. Not that I think that makes me a better person. That's not what I'm going for. I want to be a more present person, a more conscious person, a more effective person in living a full, rich, abundant life. And I do that by flowing out and knowing with absolute certainty that my good is mine, and it is coming and is in my life already. Because it's not somewhere else. It's right here. It's always been here. That's true for me. It's true for you. So that's my work. So, using that as my work, there are things that I do. I visit other centers and I support them. And it's more than just me. It's this position that I hold that causes them to pay attention. It's not me. I'm not better in life than anyone else. I just walk in and say, well, I'm the president of this organization. And they go, what do you want us to know? And they listen. It's quite amazing. So I get to support groups in that way. I treat for, the same way I treat for you as members and hold you in consciousness, I do that for other communities and my colleagues. And the thing that I'm working on right now is that I'm on a quest of calling every single senior minister in our movement and talking to them about flow and making sure that we're all on the same page. And it's been a very effective process. And so what happens when I do that? My life gets full. It's rich. It's wonderful. For example, let's find that little thing. We got another letter this week. It's a little wet now, but that's okay. I can still read it. It says, Dear Dr. John, on behalf of the Science of Mind Foundation, Board of Directors, and Tithe Committee, I am pleased to have the opportunity to inform you of the board's decision to provide a tithe to Center for Spiritual Living Asheville in the amount of $2,857. We hope that this tithe will help your center replenish needed supplies and equipment, as well as help restore a sense of healing at your center. It is our belief that by supporting your center in this significant way, the foundation is supporting the increase of awareness and understanding of the philosophy of science of mind for our world now and for the future. In partnership, Lynn Thomas, Executive Director, Science of Mind Foundation. It is nice. It is nice to be acknowledged and supported. It is the truth of who we are, is that we are in that dynamic flow as a community. So as this mortgage thing it resolves and moves into a different state, that impacts and it reflects on all of us and how we live our lives, how we open to that possibility in every aspect of our lives, where we find our personal healings and live the life we came here to live, be the ones we came here to be. That is our work. That's what this has all been about. And this is the place where we learn how to do it. We learn how to do it together. We learn how to do it by supporting one another, believing in one another, and by sharing with one another. The sharing in this community is awesome. It's amazing the way so many of you support this community with your tithes, with your financial support. And I know in our commitment program, we always have more than the amount that was committed. Now, does that mean every single person in the commitment program keeps that and makes that exact amount? No, not at all. It means that many people who have made that choice to support this community are so blessed in doing that they get more and more, and they keep getting more and more. So we always have more than enough. So that's the gift. It's not, I will never tell you we need your money. We don't need your money. We joyously and gratefully accept your money so that we can grow, so that you can grow, so that we can all do this together. And that's what we're in the midst of right now. And Barbara's called us to a higher level, to not only look at our flow out, but to look at how we function in the world, how we're doing on forgiving, about being clear of who we are, not being in judgment, to get rid of some of those things that were on that awful list that I shared with you early on, that we all have to look at. So I invite you in your life to look at where you're not flowing. Don't do it critically. Do it as an opportunity to see who you are in the light of Spirit, to see the truth of who you are, and to live from that truth. We'll all get better. We'll all do more wonderful things in the world with our clarity and with our love. And I want you to know I do love you so much and so grateful that you'll let me play here on stage. And that we keep having a good time. God bless you all. Thank you.